Hello, my name is Chris, and today on VSense, we're going to be talking about the top best cozy fragrances that you can get for the fall and the winter. So I've done a video like this before, and I actually have some of these that are going to be repeat items in the actual collection because they still fall within that category of being a cozy fall winter scent. I think that when we get into these colder months, which is the fall and the winter, we want something that's going to be a little bit more deep. It's going to be a little bit more cozy, a little bit more warmth, and that can be fragrances that have depth to them, that also have ouds, woodiness, smokiness, or they're edible. They are gourmand fragrances, or they're a combination of all of these things. And all of these fragrances are going to be within that category. So if you're looking for a fresher, lighter scent, this is probably not going to be the video for you, but let's get right into it to see which ones are my top picks. So starting off this list, we're going to have Burberry, and this list is going to be compiled of unisex fragrances. So some of these fragrances are not going to be familiar to you because they're not going to be in every department store as they are more private lines. And the one that we have here today is going to be Burberry's Amber Heath. This is a beautiful scent that retails for 295 US dollars for 100 mils or 3.4 fluid ounces. It is part of Burberry's signature range, and it's going to be a very beautiful amber type fragrance with very soft, supple notes in this. The listed notes are going to be ambergris, patchouli, and vanilla, so it's a very deep, sexy fragrance with some sweet elements to it. Very well done. This fragrance is done by Francis Kurkdjian. He was a perfumer for this fragrance, and it's one of those lines that definitely has not gotten a lot of love or attention, and I really do not know why, because Burberry actually has had a resurgence with their fragrances, and I do think that this one itself, being part of their signature range, is a fantastic one. It's kind of like grabbing Baccarat Rouge, the sweet elements of that fragrance that are so well loved, but then adding a lot of amber to it, adding some very nice spices to it, some depth to it, some patchouli, which is going to be earthy to it, and just making it overall a little bit more mature. And I do think that this fragrance does it very well. Probably a very solid fragrance to get if you're looking for a fall winter scent that's going to be cozy, sexy, dynamic, different, and have some depth. And definitely try Amber Heath by Burberry Le Gemmes fragrance. This is GARANAT. It is going to be that beautiful red type color if it comes through on the camera. Very sexy. It's supposed to be inspired from Garanat or Garnet, which is a very beautiful reddish type of stone. And this one itself is going to be Damascus Rose, Grass Rose Absolute, as well as some frankincense. So it has a very beautiful frankincense note in here, which really makes it very smoky. The rose is very nice. It's very wearable. It can be worn by both men and women. And it does have a nice powdery element to it, but it's deep. It has some depth to this fragrance. It's going to be a very wearable rose and frankincense scent, and I would certainly say that it is one of those that would definitely keep you warm in this fall and winter season. And it's also unique enough to kind of stand out. Definitely, this is a very good one. The only reason it's lower in the list is because it's very expensive compared to a lot of the other ones at 395 US dollars retail for 100 mils or 3.4 fluid ounces. So I did get asked this question if these are refillable. Yes, they are. They're not currently offering the refills at Bulgari, but I did hear from a couple of associates that work at standalone stores that they are going to roll that out as they are popular scents, and they do have the capability to actually be refillable. So we shall see when that happens, and we shall see what the pricing is. We have one by the House of Mugler, and this is part of their Les Exceptions collection, which is their more private line of fragrances. This is what the bottle looks like. Very beautiful. These also have the capability to be refilled, but they do not offer it as of now. Note that this actual scent itself is a fragrance that was actually created under the old ownership of Mugler, which was under Clarence, and now they're under L'Oreal. So it's hard to say exactly what they're going to do, if they're going to continue to have that, line, this line itself, or if they're going to discontinue it or reformulate it and change it, or not do anything with it, like they haven't done anything with Prada's Old Factories collection. But we shall see what happens with Mugler, as Mugler, the entire brand, is now owned under L'Oreal. I do think that CUIR Peregnant, which is this fragrance that I have here, is a very nice fall winter scent. It is a leather scent that has star anise in it and leather. I do think that this fragrance has a very beautiful dynamic. It has a very Thierry Mugler type of vibe to it. It's going to be sweet, it's going to be sexy, it's going to be leathery, it's going to be a combination of everything that you would like from the house of Mugler, but done very tastefully, done where it can be very wearable, but it's also very edgy and modern at the same time. And I do think that this one itself is a hidden gem. I don't think that this actual fragrance itself is still manufactured under that line. A lot of them have gotten the chop already, and this was one of them, but you can still find this one fairly cheap on discounter sites. The reason it's lower on the list is because obviously it is a fragrance that will be discontinued and not be available in the future. House of Tom Ford, and this is Tobacco Vanille. I think that obviously when it comes to fall and winter, we all think of tobacco type of scents. We think of very, chimney type of a vibes, sitting by the fireplace and having a hot cup of cocoa or of whatever you would like to drink that is a hot beverage. But this is one of those scents that really gives off that vibe. It is vanilla and tobacco at its finest. It is a little bit pricey for what it is, and I will say that the longevity and performance on this is good, at least for my formulation. My formulation's a couple years old at this point, though. Now that Estee Lauder owns the entire brand of Tom Ford, I can't say that it's going to be the same as when he was still the owner of the brand itself. But this one itself, I typically do not like myself. I don't like the actual scent of this one because it can kind of come off as a candle type scent. But I try to branch out and really give you guys a sense that are going to be universally liked, that you guys are going to actually enjoy, and not something that is just going to be my top picks. So due to that reason, I did decide to pick this one, and I do think that it's a very universally liked fragrance. It is popular, so you might run into other people that smell like it, but nonetheless, it is a fragrance that is going to keep you warm with the sweet of the vanilla and the beautiful tobacco. It's done very well, it's blended very well, and I do think that it is very sophisticated. However, it's just not my cup of tea, and that's why it's a little lower on the list. In the number 3 spot, I have one from the House of Dior, and this is Tobac Color. Guys, I have seen loads of people actually talk about dupes. I don't have anything wrong with dupes. I don't have anything against dupes. I do find that if you want something and you like the scent, then find something that's going to smell like it. I do have an issue whenever people are recreating the scent, note by note and making a replica of it, because you're kind of disrespecting not only the brands, but the perfumers that have taken years of experience to manufacture a fragrance. That's one of the reasons why I haven't tried the dupes or replicas of this fragrance itself, but I do have Tobac Color here, which is a beautiful tobacco scent. It has plum notes in here, it has vanilla notes in here, it has sweetness in this fragrance. It's done very well. It also has a honey accord in here, which is very intoxicating. Typically, I do like honey in fragrances. I do like, for example, L'Homme Ideal by Guerlain. Their fragrance has honey in it. And I do like this one a lot as well. It's just, this one is done so much better. It is a very sexy fragrance. It wears well. It has a long performance. It has long longevity. I do like the House of Dior. They are a little bit more expensive now, as this bottle itself has gone up in price. And I would say that they are a little bit, up there in the cost spectrum. But if you actually do a price per mil breakdown of these fragrances, are actually cheaper than I think anything else on this table. So definitely check out Tobac Color by the House of Dior, as you will not be disappointed, trust me. In the number 2 spot, I do have one from the House of Armani, and this is BLEU Lazuli. This is part of their La Collection Privé, or I'm sorry, this is part of their Privé line. And I do think that these are part of the more expensive range, the ones that are in the colored bottles. They're $340 US for 100 mils. Some of them are offered in 50 mils or 1.7 ounces. Some of them are not. This one, I believe, is only offered in the 100 mil size. And I do like this one a lot. I think that if we're going to say what stands out as a winter scent, this is one that I definitely think of the colder climates, because it has very beautiful, sweet warmth to the actual scent itself. There's depth to it. There's beautiful remnants of vanilla, plum, osmanthus in this fragrance. There's beautiful woody notes of sandalwood and cedarwood in here. There's also some mate tea and some honeyed tobacco. I mean, it's just an all well-rounded fragrance all around. And I would say that it is a fragrance that definitely gives you warmth. It gives you that very, comforting type of scent that's going to definitely make you stay warm out in the cold climate. It's also a fragrance that you can definitely count on when it comes to longevity performance. It's definitely going to leave a beautiful trail behind you. So I would certainly say Then in the number 2 spot, we have BLEU Lazuli by Giorgio Armani. In the number 1 spot, I have a Yves Saint Laurent Le Vestiaire collection fragrance, and this is Rouge Velour. The things I could say about this fragrance, I have fallen in love with this fragrance so much. I think that it's a very beautiful fragrance. I think that it has depth to it. It has floral touches. It has woody elements. It has spicy elements. It has everything that you want out of your fragrance. It's unique, it's different. It's not something that's going to be commercially disliked. It's still likable, but it's unique enough. It's a little bit, harder to find, which is going to make you a little bit more of a standout whenever you're wearing this scent. I think that in regards to rose and patchouli scents, this is probably as good as it gets. They have some depth in here. They have some beautiful pink pepper notes in here. There's white tea, there's iris, there's jasmine, there's rose, patchouli, musk, and vetiver. This scent is beautiful and true and true. It is a very beautiful, warm, comforting fragrance that I would certainly say keeps you warm, but it also adds that nice rock and roll type of vibe that Saint Laurent is so well known for. I think that it's, very sophisticated, very simplistic, but at the same time gives you that edge over everyone else. And I think that that's what makes this fragrance very unique, very different. And I would certainly say that if you're looking for something that's going to be your signature scent for the fall and the winter, that Rouge Velour is probably going to be the best option for you because it's so different, it's so unique. This fragrance is a supermodel and a rock and roll put into one person. Definitely something like Kate Moss back in the 90s. And I would certainly say that this scent is very sexy, very intoxicating. Now, I will say one thing about this one, because out of all of these, this is probably the one that's going to be more challenging for guys to like because it does have that rose in there. It does have jasmine and iris, which are typically considered to be more feminine type of smells. Now, I will say that this one, because it does have all of the dynamics that it does have, and it has all the notes that it does have, it is a very well-rounded fragrance when it comes to being unisex. I think that men and women can both wear this. But some people are not going to like it because of that very strong rose in here. It's not a wet, jammy rose. It's kind of like a powdery, dusty rock and roll rose. It's not something like Rose Prick either, or something like Rose de Russie. I mean, you just have to smell this. This is one of the ones that I am like, this is one of the fragrances that I was kind of at a loss for words whenever describing it. I did so much research for it because it's just terrific. It's done very well. I'm probably, overhyping this, but I'm going to be honest, this is probably my favorite fragrance as of yet. I have, tried some new ones. I have tried some old ones. I've done quite a bit of reviews, and this is one of the ones that I keep coming back to spray and to respray and to respray. I am very much shocked by it as well, but I do certainly say that this is probably the one that you should get for the fall and winter. Well, that is today's video, you guys. What do you guys think of my selection on fragrances? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Which ones are your favorites? Have you tried any of these in this list? Let me know all of that down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance-related content. I really do appreciate everyone's support, everyone's nice comments, even if they're mean, even if they're thumbs down, if they're thumbs up. As long as you interact with the video, that's all that counts, and I do appreciate everyone that does. Thank you so much for watching today's video, you guys, and I hope to see you on the next video.